Hi, friends. This is Ryan David Espinosa, and I am speaking to you on Friday. And happy Friday, first and foremost. Today, I want to talk about intuition. It's a concept that I have been was told would help me in my life by one of my good friends, personal coaches, professional advisors, Karen Bellantoni. She's an entrepreneur coach, and she told me that I would be helped greatly by refining and listening to my intuition, trusting myself more. That started me a couple years ago to learn about how I train and how I tap into my intuition, which each of us have. It's kind of our internal compass, and in a way, it kind of is our Google Maps, if you will. That's gives us signs whether to turn left or right. Now, whether we are listening to it or not, and whether we are aware of it or not, are and is something depending upon each of us. So, our intuition is our internal knowing, our deep knowing of what we want to do. And as an entrepreneur, or as in your personal or your professional life, you may get a sign, a hunch, a word, a thought of something you want to do, something you want to engage with, something you don't want to do, some person you don't want to be with. And I think now more than ever, it's so important that we listen to our own intuition, because sometimes something may logically make sense, but our heart is not aligned with that direction or that thought. And I have learned, and a friend of mine who's another advisor and coach, Helen Kramer, has shown me and helped me in a way that I can see, listen, and act on my intuition and my thoughts, even if they may seem not logical. So, in the morning, there's a lot of things that we feel we should do that day. I should be focusing on this. I need to work on this project. Where I have found I have the most stamina if I am focused and paying attention to projects or tasks that I am the most passionate, engaged in, and that my intuition is drawing me toward. Those things that my heart is pulling me toward. And I have learned, for me, what has been the most helpful in laying out my day, laying out my week, is although I may not know the end result, I listen to my own self, where my heart is, where my intuition is telling me what I want to do, what I want to engage with. And I think of work and things to do around the house, projects, as play, as being creative. I may bounce around from thing to thing because at that moment I'm more interested in writing, doing freeform writing. I may be interested in laying out in the sun. It may be 2 p.m. and I can work on a project, or I can go lay out in the sun because the sun's out right now. And this year, I feel like I've had more space to really listen to myself and not push myself. I have so often in the past pushed myself to do something that I know needed to get done. Now, I've still been successful in so many different areas, but I feel that I have been just as productive, if you will, by listening to my intuition throughout the day and doing which I'm most engaged with and not forcing or pushing anything. And I feel like that's something that's been foundational in how I've changed my day. And it starts in the morning with meditating and freeform writing and getting myself really into that space where I'm hearing and listening and aware of my own intuition, of my own hunches, of my gut, if you will. A lot of people reference their gut. They just get that knowing that something is right for them. And it may not make sense to other people, and it doesn't need to. They don't have the intuition that you have for what is best for you. So I just want to call attention and celebrate and be thankful for my intuition, and see how and looking back on how much that has served me in both my personal and professional lives, and hopefully for you too. So cheers to you. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Much love to you all.